Hey, happy Saturday afternoon, Saturday Solutions. Hey, this is Sherry Fritz, and I just read this article by one of my mentors, T. Colin Campbell. When I began my wellness journey 25 years ago, the very first book I read was The China Study by T. Colin Campbell. Now, he wrote that book in the 70s, and it took that long before it became pretty well known. So get T. Colin Campbell's book, The China Study. It's an easy read, and what I learned in that book is absolutely amazing. So I'm looking at an article that says, by the beat, and if you want me, hey Linda, if you want me to email you the article so you can read it, just PM me and I'll be happy to do so. So, eating plant-based helps you form antibodies, says T. Colin Campbell. So this is what he found. When it comes to food, is that we saw a statistically significant relationship between plant-based foods and the formation of antibodies. That's pretty exciting. So T. Colin Campbell, who is considered a legend in the nutrition world, was discussing the findings of his 6 years of collecting data on the relationship between diet and health in China, known as the China Study. Hey April, hey Isabella, hey Jennifer, thanks for watching. So I'm talking about my mentor, T. Colin Campbell, in the book, The China Study. So he goes on to say, we measured lots of things that have to do with mortality and dietary characteristics. And one of those things was the relationship between the food people eat and their ability to create antibodies when a virus infects them. Might be good to know. So he says, when they studied how someone who contracted the hepatitis B virus was able to fight it off, the biggest impact was the effect of diet on the creation of antibodies. There was a clear connection between some nutrients and the body's ability to create antibodies to the virus, Campbell explains. So not all viruses are the same, but viruses in terms of their infectivity have some common features. When a virus enters the body, it begins to do its dirty work. The body tries to create antibodies, which may or may not work. At that point, it's essentially a race. Can the body create effective antibodies quickly enough and in large enough quantities to fight off the virus before the virus ravages the cells and creates devastating outcomes? Diet plays a direct role in how this plays out, since the healthier you eat, the better. So Campbell shared his latest views on the connection between COVID-19 and diet in a recent podcast called The Exam Room, produced by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM. If you've heard me talk for very long, you're familiar with PCRM. We found something really interesting in a population of 8,900 adults. This was not a small study. When we measured nutritional characteristic in terms of nutrients and the consequences of what might seem in the serum, and I had a chance to re-examine that. What we found was that the consumption of plant-based foods, vegetables for one thing, or plant protein, or dietary fiber, or dietary thiamine, made a huge difference in how the body responded. We saw a statistically significant relationship with the formation of antibodies, and in one case it was highly significant. In contrast, we had a set of data that are related to the antigens and active virus. So we had a significant set of data with the presence of antigen and the formation of antibodies. And we had the data on the outcome of that virus, which with hepatitis B is liver cancer. So we had all the statistical outcomes of the viruses, the antigens presence, the antibodies, and we have a clear, clean analysis. We have the data. We found that when plant food is introduced to the body, we see a greater conversion of the antigens to antibodies. It was really quite impressive, Campbell says. We obviously saw a relationship between hepatitis B and liver cancer, and I would suggest that there are a lot of common features between this virus and a lot of other viruses. So T. Colin Campbell suggests with considerable confidence that we know what people ought to do with COVID-19. Hey Stacy, thanks for joining. So T. Colin Campbell says with considerable confidence that we know what people ought to do with the COVID-19 virus as well. Campbell says we should all be eating a more plant-based diet to help fight off the virus. So, what'd you have for breakfast this morning? What'd you have for dinner last night? Half your plate vegetables? Are you eating the same vegetables every day? Are you eating a wide variety of vegetables? Plants matter. You guys, if you're as excited about this article as I am, PM me. I'll be happy to send you the link. And for a simple and easy way to get more fruits and vegetables in your body and in your family, PM me. I'm happy to help. Go out there and make it a great Saturday.